Hey friends, welcome back. It is time for another story with Marley. This time I'm going to be reading a short story from the Paws, Two Wheels zine. It was from Taking the Lane, Volume 11, from Microcosm Publishing. So this one is called, I just opened up randomly. I have not read any of these. I'm just trying to go through my bookshelf before I move and realize I have a bunch of stuff on there that I haven't read. So here we go. So this one's called Bad Dogs by Rhienna, Renée, Guedry. Sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. I have the kind of dogs people point and squeal at. This is because they're small and overweight, sausage-shaped dogs or dog-shaped sausages with attitude problems and bat ears. Sounds like my dogs, actually. Dogs whose fur stands up on end along their spines, the implication of anything. The bell of another dog's leash and collar, stroller wheels on the sidewalk, wind. Most breeds allegedly say something about their owners, but all these 11-year-old, 11-pound chihuahuas say about me is that I got in the divorce for tiny angry dogs and some Old Navy t-shirts. Before I moved to Portland, I sold my car. These dogs, plus a few others, had been the final hanging on resistance and excuse I'd clung to. Somehow having pets seemed at odds with a car-free existence because, well, what if they needed urgent care? Could I really bike or cab in time? I couldn't have known then, but in the 5 years that followed after my arrival to Portland, I would end up taking zip cars and friends' cars and rental cars and the bus to vet appointments and emergency clinics. I would end up with an at-home veterinarian in my living room, giving a brave little man euthanasia and taking his tiny body away with her. I got dark. I've had my fantasies of getting a bike trailer and taking the girls out in the fresh air, low to the ground, cautiously slow moving. I have daydreamed about them peering out, noses wet and wiggling in the spring air, taking in the smell of human food worth begging for. A tiny parade. But this fantasy seems unlikely. You see, my dogs are bad dogs and shouldn't be allowed in a tiny, open-air chariot, spreading their opinions all over Portland like a political campaign. Here's how it would actually play out. Gray dog hops into the trailer, declares it hers. White dog looks paralyzed. Her hind legs flatten when I go to lift her. She molts, eyes widen, and I place her delicately, like a baby, into a stroller. Seriously, sounds like Lacey. Gray dog stands on white dog, growls. White dog continues looking nervous. Gray dog yips at everything. I start pedaling. White dog barks at nothing in particular, looking up at the sky and almost quacking, like she does when the mail comes. I stop, bribe them with treats, pedal on. Gray dog barks. White dog barks. That's enough, I say, like people do to no one in particular and with no effect. Seriously, makes me feel a little better because this sounds like my dogs. This would continue for as long as I'd have the nerve to be out in public. Maybe I'd make it to a neighborhood park. Maybe I'd scarcely make it 3 blocks. A curious child in an intersection might fill them with spunky rage, and then I'd have to watch carefully for darting digits of, "Can I touch them? Inquisition? No, you can't. Touch them. I'm sorry. They hate everyone. Except for me. I know you don't believe me. I know they're cute in that way that makes you grit your teeth. But trust me on this. They have an attitude problem." So even this fantasy was a bad idea. As it stands, the closest these two chihuahuas... it's spelled really funny. I had to pronounce it. Sound it out. It literally says chihuahuas. Like, is that how you spell it? Oh, anyway. As it stands, the closest these chihuahuas will actually get to a bicycle is my bike collection I keep parked in my living room. All 11 pounds of them, pedal height, circling and barking at me when I come through that front door with a bag of dog food to my back rack. But I'm thinking about them all the time, even if they're not riding with me. Maybe this is because there are scores of other Portlanders on bikes with their dogs in tow, in front baskets, in backpacks, in bike trailers, running beside on a leash. Those dogs usually have a look of sheer bliss on their faces because they know something my bad dogs will never know. Everything is so beautiful on a bike. Oh. She might be surprised. I don't know. My dogs took to the bike really quickly and don't really give me any issues in there. So might be worth a shot. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed.